Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, sorry I wasn't there at live lesson today. I had a couple things pop up, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through everything you guys need to do this week and the assignments, and we'll be all set. So, starting off on the landing page to do this week, complete Unit 2.5 and 2.6. If you're still catching up, please make sure you're submitting those assignments to me. So, my seventh graders, today and this week, we have Unit 2.5 and 2.6. And the 2.5 is healthy body image, and 2.6 is maintaining a healthy weight. So, first part is, how do you see yourself? Athletic, funny, smart? What do you see when you look in the mirror? Have you ever compared yourself to someone Y or someone you look and you'll see, we got all these movie stars and stuff, and they are paid to stay in good shape. It's actually their job. And so that's something that they need to do, is they need to have this really, really strict diet and things like that, regardless of how they feel. Us, normal people, we can do more what we want, and, for better or worse. And what we're going to be going over today is BMI and, our heredity. So based on who our parents were and their genes, we might be more predisposed to building muscle or gaining fat or being tall or short. And that's not saying that you absolutely will be that way. It's just you're more predisposed to that. Your body's more likely to do that. But if you are, do certain things, it might not be like that. So that's what heredity is. And BMI, it stands for Body Mass Index. And what it is, they'll show a little equation later on, is basically a number so they can compare your height and weight. And it gives you one number. We'll show you that in a second. So going down here, body mass index, and it will give you an actual number like 22 to 28 or so. And numbers go a little bit higher than that and lower than that. But that's usually kind of the average that you'll see people in. And what it is it's a way to measure if someone is kind of clinically like over or underweight, but that doesn't tell the whole story. So, BMI is pounds over height in inches, and this is the equation to do it. If you want to do it, you're more than welcome to. And make sure you see this little squared sign down here if you are trying it. And what it is it just takes your height and your weight, and it gives you a number. And it doesn't account for muscle mass. It doesn't account for fat. It doesn't account for organs. It doesn't account for any of that. So you look at all these NFL players who have six packs, they're 6'3", 300 pounds, and they are just nothing but muscle. They might get categorized as obese or severely obese by the BMI. And that's not necessarily the case. They're the most in shape people in the world, and they've got, they're very, very healthy. So BMI doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, but with regular people, it's pretty close, or it's more close. All right. So here's our first thing. I want you guys to respond to it. Click the new post over here and respond to these two questions. Make sure you're restating the question and in whole sentences, please. So a study of the following found that in 1965, 4.6% of teens were overweight. In 1980, 5%. And then today it is 18.4%. So almost 20%, almost 1 in 5 teens is considered overweight right now. And that's a pretty significant jump. And that's not all because of building muscle and all that. That's a lot of people having very unhealthy lifestyles. So I want you guys to answer, what trend do you see in these statistics? What does that show? And what changes do you think might help reverse this trend? So think, if you were trying to make a law or trying to provide information for these teens, what do you think you would provide for them? How would you reverse this trend? All right, going to our next assignment. Don't worry about these. These aren't yours. Oh, actually, we just have the review and then a mini quiz for this section, and then we'll be going on to 2.6. All right, 2.6. Make sure you're reading all of this. All right, so the difference between overweight and obesity, so there's kind of average weight, then there's overweight, and then there's obese. And so obesity is when you've gone past overweight and it's now you're at an increased risk for developing heart issues, heart disease, and metabolic disease, and you're more inclined to like have heart attacks at a really young age. You might not live very long. You might be developing asthma or diabetes. And so it's really, really important that we are keeping our body fat mass down. And that's so that we can live a healthy life and don't have to worry about all these things. And so that you can live life the way you want to. And so that all comes down to the food choices that we decide every day. Am I going to eat this? Am I going to have this? Am I going to eat grains or am I going to eat pizza? So that's, pizza is obviously the more interesting one to have, but make sure you're having those, your carrots, having your grapes, having whatever it is with your meal that gives you those vitamins and minerals. Being underweight is also a huge problem because you are also more at risk to injury or hurting yourself. So being underweight can be just as bad as being overweight, just as bad, which is pretty surprising. So this is the BMI. So anything under 18.5 is considered underweight. That's still very, very unhealthy. 18.5 to 25 is normal. 25 to 29 is overweight. 30 to 35 is obesity 1, and 35 to 40, and anything really over that is obesity 2. And so, ideally where, between this 18 to 25, and of course, if sometimes people they hit the gym a lot and they gain a lot of muscle and it pushes them over. That's okay. Like having a lot of muscle is increasing your metabolism. That's okay. And this is relative, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So ladies can be compared to pretty much the same thing as men on this. All right. Make sure you're reading the rest of the instructions. And then this is actually our unit test. You can take the test as many times as you would like, but try and get 100% on it. I believe it's 15 questions. So I believe in you guys. You guys are awesome. If you have any questions, please email me. But until then, have a good one. See you later.